8 reasons why most men can't handle a female empath is not because she is too emotional. It is because she sees too deeply, feels too honestly, and refuses to stay blind once her soul has seen the truth. A female empath is not difficult because she loves too much. She becomes difficult for the wrong man because she can feel what he is trying to hide. She can feel the shift in his energy before he changes his words. She can feel distance before he admits he is pulling away. She can sense fake affection before there is proof. She can hear dishonesty in the silence between sentences. She can see when I'm fine is not fine, when I'm busy is not the whole truth, when your overthinking is really a way to avoid accountability, and that makes some men uncomfortable. Not because she is wrong, because her presence makes it harder for them to hide from themselves. A female empath does not just want attention. She wants emotional truth. She does not just want romance. She wants safety. She does not just want a man's words. She wants his nervous system, his behavior, his consistency, his honesty, his ability to show up without making her feel like she is asking for too much. And many men can handle a woman's beauty. They can handle her softness. They can handle her loyalty. They can handle the way she listens, nurtures, forgives, and makes them feel deeply understood. But they cannot always handle the part of her that sees through the performance. That is the first reason most men cannot handle a female empath. She sees the truth before they are ready to admit it. There is a woman sitting across from a man at dinner. He is smiling. His words sound normal. He says everything is okay, but something in his eyes feels far away. His touch feels slightly different. His tone is careful. The room looks peaceful, but her body does not feel peaceful. She asks, "What's wrong?" He says nothing, but she knows, not because she wants drama, because her body is reading what his mouth is hiding. And this is where some men become defensive. They call her too sensitive, too intense, too suspicious, too emotional. They make her doubt the signal because they do not want to face what she is sensing. But a female empath often knows the truth before the truth has language. She may not always know every detail, but she can feel when something has changed. And a man who is honest will respect that sensitivity, but a man who lives through avoidance will feel exposed by it. The second reason most men cannot handle a female empath is because she needs emotional consistency, not occasional intensity. Female empath is not impressed forever by sweet words after emotional distance. She may fall for it at first. She may believe the apology. She may melt when he becomes soft after being cold. She may tell herself he does care. She may mistake relief for love, but eventually she learns relief is not love. Relief is what her body feels when pain pauses. Love is what makes her body feel safe before pain has to beg for a pause. A man who only shows warmth when he feels her pulling away cannot build safety with a female empath. She will eventually see the pattern. She will notice that he becomes loving after damage, not before it. She will notice that his softness appears when access is threatened, not when her heart first asks for care. And once she notices, she cannot unsee it. There is a woman staring at her phone after days of silence. Then suddenly he sends the sweet message, "I miss you. I've been thinking about you. You know I care." And the old version of her feels the familiar relief. Her chest softens. Her hope wakes up. But the healed part of her asks, why did my pain have to become distance before it became important? That question changes everything. A female empath can forgive a man's struggle, but she cannot build a life on emotional inconsistency. She does not need perfection. She needs presence. She needs a man whose care is not only strong when he is afraid of losing her. The third reason most men cannot handle a female empath is because she can love deeply without staying forever. This is the part that surprises people. They think because she loves deeply, she will never leave. They think because she forgives, she has no limit. They think because she understands pain, she will keep excusing the behavior that comes from it. They think her heart is an open door with no lock. But the healed female empath changes. She may love you and still leave. She may miss you and still not return. She may understand your wound and still refuse to be wounded by it. She may forgive you and still never give you the same access again. That is not cruelty. That is maturity. There is a woman who once stayed through everything. She listened to his childhood pain. She explained his behavior to herself. She defended him in her mind. She told herself he was just scared, just hurt, just overwhelmed, just not used to being loved. But one day, she realizes something painful. Understanding him has not protected her. And from that moment, her love becomes different, not smaller, more protected. She stops confusing compassion with self-abandonment. She stops calling repeated hurt a ruse season. She stops giving unlimited chances to someone who uses every chance as proof that she will stay no matter what. Most men cannot handle that version. They can handle the wounded empath who overexplains. They can handle the forgiving empath who keeps returning. They can handle the anxious empath who tries harder when they pull away, but they cannot handle the healed empath who says, "I love you, but I will not lose myself for you." That woman is not easy to control. She is not hard to love. She is hard to control. Fourth reason most men cannot handle a female empath is because she reflects what they have not healed. A female empath often becomes a mirror without trying. Her presence can make people feel seen. She listens in a way that pulls truth out of people. She notices pain behind anger, fear behind pride, insecurity behind control. She can sense when someone is performing strength while hiding shame. For a healthy man, this can feel like safety. For an unhealed man, it can feel like threat because the female empath does not only see his charm, she sees the fear behind it. She does not only see his confidence, she sees the wound underneath it. She does not only hear his words, she feels whether those words are aligned with his energy. And some men do not want to be seen that deeply. They want admiration, not reflection. They want comfort, not accountability. They want a woman who makes them feel powerful without making them face themselves. There is a man who says he wants a deep woman, but when she asks a deep question, he becomes irritated. He says he wants honesty, but when she speaks honestly, he calls her difficult. He says he wants loyalty, but when loyalty requires emotional responsibility, he pulls away. He wanted her light, but he did not want what her light revealed. That is why some men are drawn to female empaths at first, then become resentful later. At first, her depth feels healing. Her softness feels rare. Her presence feels peaceful. But then her awareness begins to expose things he has not faced. And instead of healing, he attacks the mirror. He says she is too much, too emotional, too sensitive, too intense. But sometimes too much simply means she is seeing too much for someone who wants to stay hidden. The fifth reason most men cannot handle a female empath is because she needs truth more than performance. A female empath does not need a perfect man, but she does need an honest one. She can work with fear if there is honesty. She can work with struggle if there is accountability. She can work with emotional wounds if there is humility. But she cannot work with denial. She cannot work with manipulation. She cannot work with a man who says nothing is wrong while punishing her with silence. She cannot work with someone who gives her confusion and then blames her for trying to understand it. There is a woman lying awake at night, replaying his words, not because she wants to overthink, because something did not match. His mouth said one thing, but his energy said another. His apology sounded soft, but his behavior did not change. His promise sounded serious, but the pattern returned. Her mind keeps working because her body feels the mismatch. And eventually, she realizes she is not crazy. She is responding to inconsistency. A man who cannot be honest will make an empath question herself. He will call her intuition paranoia. He will call her emotional intelligence drama. He will call her need for clarity pressure. He will call her boundary and attitude. But a mature woman eventually stops asking him to confirm what her body already knows. That is when she becomes dangerous to the lie, not because she fights, because she stops participating. The sixth reason most men cannot handle a female empath is because she gives deeply, but eventually expects depth in return. At first, a female empath may give more than she receives. She listens, she encourages, she supports, she understands his moods, she forgives his distance. She helps him name emotions he has never named. She becomes the calm place where he can rest from the world. But if she keeps giving and nothing returns, something inside her begins to ache because she is not just a healer. She is a woman. She needs to be held too. She needs to be heard too. She needs to be chosen too. She needs someone to notice when her smile is tired. She needs someone to ask, "How are you really?" and stay long enough to hear the answer. There is a woman sitting beside a man who tells her everything. His stress, his childhood, his fears, his anger, his dreams, his pain. She listens like a home. She gives him the kind of safety he has always wanted. Then one day, she begins to speak about her own pain, and he becomes distracted or uncomfortable or dismissive or silent. And something inside her breaks quietly because she realizes he loved her as a safe place, but not as a full person. That is when she begins to understand that being needed is not the same as being loved. Some men love the comfort of a female empath, but they are not ready for the responsibility of loving her back. They love how she regulates them. They love how she understands them. They love how she forgives them. They love how she makes their chaos feel manageable. But can they love her needs? Can they love her truth? Can they love her boundary? Can they love her when she is not being useful? That is the test most fail. The seventh reason most men cannot handle a female empath is because she eventually stops being afraid of being alone. This is one of her most powerful transformations. In the beginning, she may fear losing him. She may fear silence. She may fear being misunderstood. She may fear starting over. She may fear that no one else will understand her the way he sometimes did. That fear can keep her attached to less than she deserves. But healing changes the fear. After enough emotional loneliness inside a connection, being alone no longer feels like the worst thing being unseen beside someone does. There is a woman sitting alone in her room after finally choosing distance. The room is quiet. too quiet at first. Her heart aches. She misses the good moments. She misses the person she hoped he would become. She misses the fantasy. But then her body exhales. No one is confusing her tonight. No one is making her feel needy for wanting care. No one is punishing her with silence. No one is pulling her into emotional chaos and calling it love. And she realizes something sacred. She did not choose loneliness. She chose peace. Once a female empath tastes peace, she becomes harder to pull back into pain. That is why some men cannot handle her healed version. They were used to her fear of abandonment, her fear of conflict, her fear of being alone, her fear of being called selfish, her fear of losing the relationship. But when peace becomes stronger than fear, control loses power. She can still want love, but she no longer worships it. She can still miss companionship, but she no longer accepts disrespect just to avoid sleeping alone. She can still be soft, but her softness is no longer desperate. That kind of woman is not easily manipulated. The eighth reason most men cannot handle a female empath is because she awakens slowly, then all at once. At first she tries, she gives chances, she explains, she softens, she forgives, she waits, she hopes. She tells herself maybe he will understand, maybe he will grow, maybe he will become consistent, maybe the good part of him will finally become the real pattern. But every repeated wound teaches her, every silence teaches her, every apology without change teaches her, every time she feels alone beside him teaches her. Every time her body tightens around his energy teaches her. Then one day she stops needing another lesson. That is the awakening. There is a woman staring into the mirror after a long season of being emotionally drained. She sees tired eyes, but she also sees truth. She sees the woman who kept making excuses, the woman who kept choosing potential, the woman who gave wife-level loyalty to someone who gave temporary attention, the woman who thought love meant proving she could endure pain gracefully. And she whispers no more, not dramatically, but deeply. No more explaining my worth, no more begging for emotional presence, no more shrinking my truth so a man can stay comfortable, no more calling confusion chemistry, no more mistaking intensity for intimacy, no more losing myself for love. That moment changes her. And after that, she may still be kind, but she is not the same. She may still care, but she does not carry. She may still forgive, but she does not forget the lesson. She may still love, but she does not abandon herself to prove it. This is the female empath most men cannot handle. Not because she is impossible, because she is awake. She notices what others ignore. She feels what others deny. She asks for what others avoid. She protects what others want to access without responsibility. She can love deeply, but she can also walk away cleanly when love becomes self-betrayal. And that is the final truth. A female empath is not too much for the right man. She is only too much for the man who wanted her softness without her truth. The right man will not fear her depth. He will respect it. He will not punish her intuition. He will listen to it. He will not call her boundaries cold. He will understand they protect the woman he claims to love. He will not want her to become smaller so he can feel bigger. He will meet her as a whole woman, not use her as a place to hide from himself, because the female empath does not need a man who can handle her only when she is easy. She needs a man who can honor her when she is honest. 8 reasons why most men can't handle a female empath is not a warning that she is hard to love. It is a warning that she was never meant to be loved by someone who needs her blind, quiet, and unprotected. The female empath is not too emotional. She is too awake to keep calling emotional absence love.